the police, ironically, have been our biggest support with this. This always makes me laugh because if I asked all my boys that I've worked with in prison, who do you think would want to help you most? The last on the list would be the police. And actually, it's the police that are bending over backwards to help us because they're all ADHD. Daly's ADHD. They're all ADHD themselves. And they all know, they've said, if I didn't have strong parents and I didn't have people that had pushed me to do my homework, I would have gone down that route. Most of these people doing petty crime, so petty, house theft and muggings and nicking people's handbags off them and all that, vast majority of those are ADHD, vast majority. So the public are going to be much safer if you diagnose and medicate all these people. That's what they don't emphasize enough in these reports. It's, oh yes, we should be looking at university, we should be diagnosing these people, but they don't look on the cost to the cost saving to the government, and also how much the public would be therefore more protected. You see, the public get outraged. Why should we bother diagnosing these offenders? Well, because you'll be more safe, actually. But nobody's pointed that out to them. Nobody's pointed out that if you've had your house broken into or your car nicked or whatever, odds are that was an undiagnosed ADHD person. We understand that, but don't forget, these people have been massively let down before. They've been massively let down to the point that their life has descended into such chaos, either with addiction, offending, whatever. And it's right that they get attention. It's not right that they're a waiting list for ADHD. No, and that's something else we're trying to address. There shouldn't be waiting lists longer than the 18 weeks or whatever it is the NHS say for everything else. It should be the same for ADHD, but we are massively discriminated against in that respect, and we're told to wait for 2 to 5 years, which is outrageous. So no, we're fighting that. We don't want that either. Most often this is very young offenders, right? Most often this is going to be people between the age of 13 and 18. So these kids, which the vast majority are going to be, have been let down, usually because they're in the care system, because they've been fostered or adopted. They would have been removed from their homes, usually because their parents are undiagnosed ADHD and have got addiction problems, which is so common. So, yeah, I do think people like that should be allowed to jump the queue, if you like. For all the reasons that we've said before, not only is it helping him, it's saving the public from crime and it's saving the government money from locking him up. So, yes, he should be fast-tracked. But I do see the people's point, the ones that are going, I've been on a waiting list for 3 years. I get it. I get it. In my experience of working with women, more are ADHD than not. I worked for a year at Smart Addiction, which was like a government-funded addiction service. And I used to run the drop-ins there twice a week. And I would say I met a lot of women there. At least 8 or 9 out of 10 were ADHD, at least. So it's as prevalent in females as it is in males. It's interesting, this thing, because they say, it presents differently in women. Not necessarily. It's inattentive ADHD that presents differently.